Welcome to the tool review channel. Today we're taking a look at the IRWIN Vise-Grip 1968 337 8-inch long nose pliers. Now, as you can see here, these are a comfort grip plier, and you have the blue and yellow style comfort grip handles with the IRWIN and the Vise-Grip name in yellow, which does look nice. And if you look on the inside of your handle right there, see if we can get the camera to focus. Oops, sorry about that. It says you have a little warning on the inside that says wear approved eye protection, don't use on live wires. Obviously the handles, they're not insulated, so they're not going to protect you from getting shocked. And if we come up to the business end of the plier, you can see you have the IRWIN name, and I believe this is the model number laser etched onto the surface of the plier, which is nice. And then coming up to here, you can see you have a pretty decent cutting edge right there, and then your nose kind of tapers down to a point, and this is your needle nose part right here. And if you open up the jaws, you can see you have a very nice cross hatching design on the tip of the pliers, or on the jaw of the pliers, which is going to allow you to get a decent grip onto something. If you needed to grip onto something, you need to bend it, pull it, or do whatever you needed to do. And then coming to the back side of the pliers, it's relatively the same. There's just no laser etching on this side. You have the IRWIN name and the Vise-Grip logo there as well. And you have the little square cutout right there as well. And this gives you a better look at how the pliers are designed. Now, obviously, most long nose pliers aren't high leverage design, so that rivet is quite a bit away from the cutting edge, which means you're probably not going to be able to cut through, or you'll be able to cut through multiple conductors at once, but you're definitely going to struggle a little bit more than if you were using a tool where that rivet was really close to the cutting edge and you hit a more of a longer handles. But that's really about it for the kind of the detail on the tool. Now we're going to get to some of the functionality of the tool, or the main functionality of the tool is the cutting in the needle nose part. So we're going to start off with cutting. So we are going to bring in some 14 gauge solid wire and see how well that cutter can cut through this wire. And we'll go ahead and put that guy in there. And as you can see right there, it can cut through this 14 gauge solid wire, no problem as well. And another thing that's cool about these is the cutting edge is sharp enough, so if you needed to, you could strip that insulation off the wire. So go ahead and pierce that insulation, and we'll just use the tip of the needle nose and we'll pull off that insulation. And as you can see right there, we are able to strip that 14 gauge solid wire, and we'll just go ahead and pull that little piece of insulation off, and you're able to cut that wire fairly easy as well. So we'll go ahead and put that off to the side, and we'll bring in some 12 gauge stranded, or 12 gauge solid wire. Now this should be relatively, it might be a little bit hard to cut through, but we'll go ahead and cut that guy. As you can see right there, no problem right there. And you can see it's super easy to cut through. You don't really have to struggle that much. You definitely have a lot of leverage on the handles, which is nice. And we'll go ahead and strip this wire as well and see if we can get this to strip as well, which, you know, the cutting jaws on there are pretty strong. So as you can see right there, we're able to strip that 12 gauge solid wire, and we'll go ahead and cut that guy off. We'll set that off to the side. Now we're going to bring in some stranded wire here, and we'll bring in, if I can get it right here, we can get some 14 gauge stranded wire right here. And as before, we can go ahead and cut through it first. And as you can see right there, don't really have too much of a problem. You definitely have to pull a little bit of that, as you can see, you definitely have to pull a little bit because it doesn't cut through that insert, that like the plastic coating around the wire all that well, but you can, as you can see, cut through that wire no problem. So we'll go ahead and set that off to the side, and we'll bring in some 12 gauge stranded wire, and we'll go ahead and see how well we can cut through that. And we'll go ahead and cut through that, and as you can see, definitely can cut through that a lot easier, but again, you still kind of have to. It doesn't quite cut all that insulation all the way, as you can see right there. You just have to just move it around, or you just got to pull it and it will cut it all the way. And we'll go ahead and strip this, see if we can strip some 12 gauge wire right here. So we'll spin that guy around, and we'll see if we can pull this guy off, no problem. And as you can see right there, we're able to pull off that little piece of insulation, no problem. And obviously cut it off if we need to. Now we'll bring in some 10 gauge stranded wire right here and see how well we can cut through that with these guys. And as you can see right there, definitely can cut through it, and you don't really have to use that much force. And as you can see right there, that piece went flying off into the background. And we will also strip this wire, see if we can strip with this as well. So go ahead and pierce that insulation all the way around, and we will pull it off right there, as you can see, no problem. And we'll go ahead and cut that guy off. So overall, these are definitely a nice pair of needle nose pliers from IRWIN. It's part of their, obviously a part of their Vise-Grip line of tools. Definitely a nice pair of pliers. Now, my only really complaint with them, and this is kind of figured it out once I had a bunch of like comfort grip style of tools, is just the handles. They're big and bulky, and when you have them in a tool bag, you generally only can get like maybe one, maybe two in one of the pockets in the bag. Other than that, that's really about my only complaint, and that's not just with these. I'm not singling these guys out. It's with most comfort grip pliers. It seems you can only really get one into a pocket in the bag. Rather than when you have dipped handles, you can maybe get two, maybe three pairs of pliers in there, just depending on the size. But I always find that the comfort grip handles do kind of take up some space, but they also do add a bit more comfort. With that being said, these are definitely a nice pair of needle nose pliers from IRWIN, and they obviously are able to get the job done. But that's really about all I have to say for this review. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel and you would like to check out more content like this, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you did enjoy this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up as well. But that's all I have for this video, so thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video uploaded.